Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Titus. In this video, I'm gonna do another hotel review, and that hotel I'm reviewing is the Court Hotel in Kyoto Shijo in Japan. So stick around for the pros and cons. Just to give you guys a bit of an insight as to what type of accommodation we booked, we actually opted for the triple room option purely because we wanted more space in that area. Now, the reason why we chose this hotel in particular is because it's actually closer to the subway and a lot of the places that we wanted to go to. We weren't disappointed because a lot of them were really accessible and were just nearby. So that's one of the things why we picked this hotel. Now on to the pros and cons. Here we go. The first pro is in regards to a lot of the amenities that they provided us. So obviously we had the standard shampoo, soap, body wash, moisturizer, just like the other hotel had, hair dryer and as such. But we feel as though they went over and above because there's a lot of things that we also didn't realize included, such as sewing kits, shaver, brush. They had bathrobes and slippers as well, which is really quite standard in Japanese hotels. And yeah, we were quite happy with what they had in relation to the inclusive stuff that they had. Now, another pro worth mentioning is that they actually had a large flat screen TV. However, we didn't really get to use it that much. So whether you like watching TV or not, it's really up to you. There's a lot of Japanese channels that are available. So if you understand Japanese, probably good. Otherwise, if you have your Apple TV and or your Google Chrome, you could bring that as an option as well. They have an HDMI connection as well. Now, as I mentioned before, we did end up getting a triple room booked, and just in relation to the space, it was quite spacious. We were quite happy with that. Another pros worth mentioning is their Wi-Fi. Usually in the different accommodation that I've stayed at, when it's a free Wi-Fi, it's generally slow, but in this place, the Wi-Fi was actually quite fast, so that's really good. Another pro that I would like to mention as well is how clean this place is. It's almost like a 4-star hotel. Obviously, it's not like a 5-star hotel. Place is a bit worn out, but otherwise it was quite satisfying to stay in that place. And if you've watched a lot of the other previous hotel reviews that I've made, one of the highly regarded things that I always make mention of, and one of the good things that I really like about Japan is their high-tech bidet. So nearly all of their hotels have this, but this hotel also has that as well, so it's a good thing because it's got heated toileting, it's got a bidet to clean your bottom if you need to, and yeah, I guess that's a good thing that I always like if a hotel has it. It's a good bonus, especially if you're in an Asian country. Now, in relation to the area, in general, the one that we got, it was quite good. It wasn't much of a view really, it was just pointing towards other hotels as well. We were in the 10th floor. It was really quiet. That environment in general is not so loud, but it doesn't also mean that there's nothing around it because there's actually a lot of small shops there and restaurants that's really nice to eat on as well. Again, there's a lot of subway station that's close by as well, and it's just walking distance. You just have to really search for it too. So the location is a big pro for us, and that's one of the things that we liked about this hotel. Now, I wanted to talk about the cons now. And the first thing that I'm going to mention in relation to the cons is in relation to the pricing. Now, when we were booking this online, and usually the Agoda app gives you a very accurate, cheap offering of what they have, and it's usually quite good during that time, and we booked it like around 2 months before. However, when we got there and they were still having spare rooms, the room actually costed about $180 or Australian dollars more than what is currently being offered. So we paid more than what we should have, and I guess that's something that's not really that great for us. Otherwise, we could have saved up more if we just rocked up on the day. Yeah, but we don't know because we can't really ascertain if there's going to be a vacancy or not. Another con that we found is that their double bed, it's actually not quite big. I mean, being a married couple, me and my wife wanted to share a bed. That's why we booked in the triple room. However, their double bed is actually still quite small. I mean, there was 3 beds there after all, so we just had 1 bed each, which wasn't too bad later on. Another thing that I mentioned before, and I guess this is one of the cons that I would say or include, is that the subways are actually quite a fair bit of walk. I mean, you know, if you're choosy with what accommodation you have and how far you have to walk, I guess it really depends, especially if you have really big and heavy luggage. But I guess that place that we stayed at was about 2 to 3 blocks away from the subway. It's still a good fair walking distance, 600 meters. It's probably not that long for some of you guys, but I guess you can't have it both ways, and you can't just have the subway right next door to you, can you? Now, the other thing that I'd also like to mention that's a con is, unlike other hotels which you would expect that there would be a pool, a sauna, or anything like that, this place actually didn't have any of those. I mean, when we stayed there, we wanted to stay there purely for the accommodation, so that's what we did. If anything, we were quite satisfied with, I guess, the place that they provided for us. That's all we needed. It wasn't much more so a tropical area whereby we would want to go in a swimming pool or a sauna perhaps, but if that's something that you're looking for, then I'd just tell you now that this place doesn't have that amenity if you're looking for it. Now again, something that's not really big as well is that their main lobby is actually quite tiny and small, although I must mention one of the things that we really like about it is that they have free tea there. I think it was like rice tea that they had every single day, cold tea or hot tea. So I guess this is just a little con and a little bit of pro there. Small lobby but free tea. So if you like it, then that's good. Now overall, it's not as bad as what it seems like, and this place is actually quite good. Some of the more notable places that's actually quite nearby is Nishiki Market. It's only about 10 to 15 minutes walk from that place, and if you get there, you'd actually love it because there's a lot of indoor and outdoor kind of market look, and there's a lot of shops. So if you like to go shopping, then this is the place to go. Now the other thing is that the Pokemon Center is actually quite nearby as well. It's only around 5 to 10 minutes walk, and we were very fortunate enough to actually encounter one of the YouTube stars that I follow, which is Leroy Sanchez. Such a humble guy, and it's such an awesome experience just to be able to meet someone who's actually famous in just a random location. So that's a good thing. You might meet someone else too. So that's a bonus pro if anything. The other places that were quite close as well is the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove Forest. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's also accessible from there. There's also the Torii Gates. Nara Park is actually a little bit more further from there, however it's still accessible. That's the area where there's a lot of deers. So if you want to visit those places, I would recommend this area. Now the most important question that I'd like to answer, would I actually recommend this hotel? And the straight up answer to that is yes, I would recommend this hotel. Despite of all the other cons that I've mentioned, it's still an overall good hotel. So if you're thinking about booking this hotel, please go ahead and do so. This video is actually not sponsored, it's just a hobby of mine to help you guys out. So if you guys found this video useful, please click that like button. Otherwise, if you want to see more of the videos that I make, click on the subscribe button. Feel free to follow me on my Instagram channel as well, where I do post some of the things in relation to our adventure. Alright, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for staying this long with me. I will see you guys in the next video. God bless.